Listen closely. For your entire life, you have been told that water is a simple thing. It's just wet stuff that falls from the sky or comes out of a plastic bottle. You've been told it exists in three forms: solid ice, liquid water, and steam. This is an incomplete picture. It is a logic error. The managerial state treats water as a neutral carrier, a dead fluid meant to be filtered, treated with chemicals, and sold back to you as hydration slop. But deep within the cells of your own body, and in the most ancient places on Earth, water behaves differently. There is a fourth state of water. It isn't a liquid, and it isn't ice. It is a living crystal, a biological battery. Our ancestors knew this. They didn't have the advanced sensors we have today, but they had eyes that could see the truth. They called it holy water. They called it the fountain of youth. They weren't being superstitious. They were identifying a specific type of biological hardware that the modern world has forgotten how to build. Today, we are going to decompile the secret of structured water. We are going to find out why your tap water is leaving you, low power, and how to turn your hydration back into a high-voltage current. To understand structured water, you have to look at how water molecules normally behave. In your standard tap water, the molecules are moving in a state of chaos. They are bouncing around randomly. This is chaotic water. When you drink it, your body has to spend its own internal energy and calories just to organize that water before your cells can even use it. This is why you can drink a gallon of bottled water and still feel thirsty and tired. Structured water is different. When water touches a water-loving surface, like the inside of a plant or the tissues in your own body, it undergoes a physical transformation. The molecules stop moving randomly. They snap into a perfect honeycomb pattern. Imagine a pile of loose bricks compared to a finished wall. Standard water is the pile of bricks. Structured water is the wall. Because of this honeycomb shape, the water becomes thicker. It behaves more like a gel than a liquid. More importantly, it develops an electrical charge. The pure layer of structured water becomes negatively charged, while the impurities are pushed away into a positively charged core. It becomes a literal battery. It holds energy. It holds information. This is the water that lines every cell in your body. This is the liquid crystal that allows your nervous system to fire at high speeds. For thousands of years, humans have gone on long patrols across continents, specifically to find deep springs and wells. Think about the legend of the Fountain of Youth. We treat it like a fairy tale of a forgotten age, but the records tell a different story. Ancient populations observed restorative properties in certain waters. People who drank from deep, mountain-fed springs thrived. Their skin looked polished while their energy was at its peak. They were drinking water that had been structured by the same earth you walk on now. As water travels through deep rock, clay, and mineral deposits under extreme pressure, the friction and the contact with the Earth's minerals force the water into that hexagonal honeycomb shape. By the time it reaches the surface, it is pure energy. This is the true source of holy water. In ancient traditions, like the process of creating sacred water almost always involved two things: motion and light. First, the vortex. Healers would stir water in a continuous spiral. They were mimicking the natural turbulence of a mountain stream. This mechanical motion breaks up the stagnant clusters of disorganized molecules, allowing the pure pattern to form. Second, solar exposure. Ancient texts often mandate that water be left in the sun or under the moon and to gain its power. We now know that infrared light, the heat from the sun, is the primary charger for this liquid battery. When our ancestors blessed water, they were executing a manual structuring protocol. They were using the sun and the earth to recode the water for maximum biological uptime. Why does this matter for the architect? You are over 99% water by molecule count. Inside your vessel, water isn't just sloshing around like a drink in a cup. It is woven into your fascia, the three-dimensional web that holds your code together. Healthy human cells are coated in structured water. This layer acts as a firewall. Because the honeycomb lattice is so tight, it actively excludes toxins, heavy metals, and metabolic waste, so your liver and kidneys can delete it. When you drink dead water from the tap, your cellular wall weakens. You start to experience system lag, the symptoms of brain fog, joint stiffness, and chronic fatigue. Drinking water that is already structured eliminates the metabolic bottleneck. The water matches the exact geometry of your cells perfectly. It bypasses the registry check and enters your tissues with zero delay. It donates free electrons directly to your mitochondria, the engines of your cells. It is the only way to hydrate your body without putting a vampiric drain on your internal energy reserves. The modern world wants you in a permanent state of low power. It wants you dependent on the next chemical stimulant or sugary snack just to get through the day. But you are a sovereign being. You have the ability to recode your own environment. You don't need a mountain spring to access this power. You can restructure your own water in your own home. You only need glass, earth, and sunlight to provide the hardware template the water needs to organize. By shifting your hydration from poison to liquid energy, you are taking the first step toward biological sovereignty. You are building a vessel that is strong enough to achieve the states of high consciousness that are your birthright. The time has come to ground the vessel. Stop the noise. Reclaim your current.